Broward County School Board versus Jose Ruiz. On November 13th, 1980, at Hallandale High School, located in the southern tip of Florida, Jose Ruiz, a sophomore who played in the JV football team, stayed after school to have his picture taken. He could have stayed with the team and practice, but he chose instead to call and go home. So after the picture session, he went to the cafeteria to call his father. While waiting, he was attacked by three students: Anthony Wilson, Jimmy Wright, and Ray Sands. A witness who testified with Letitia Fredericks said that she saw Jose in the cafeteria and was approached by the three boys. They were speaking to each other, and while Jose was walking away, one of them attacked Jose with a garbage can and knocked him unconscious, and they started beating on him. So Jose sued to hold the school district liable for his injuries. The case was tried in 1985. It went to the appeal court. A decision was found. It went to the appeal court, and in Florida on July 2nd, 1986, and the rehearing was denied on September 30th, 1986. To prove negligence, you need to show three things: the existence of a teacher-student relationship, giving the rise to legal duty to supervise; negligence or breach of that duty by the teacher; the proximate causation of the student injury by the teacher's negligence. So, how close the teacher is to when the incident happened. The school principal, at the time Linda Brown, uh, stated that supervision and security was delegated to the teacher, administrators, and security personnel. That was their job, to provide safety and security for the students. Employees were not required, however, to stay more than 20 minutes after the last class, which ends at 2:45. So 3:05 would be the time everybody can leave. She acknowledged the students regularly congregate in the cafeteria after school. So it is a known spot where people will stay to get picked up or make phone calls. It's the place where there is a public uh, telephone they can use to make phone calls. The custodians sometimes took the responsibility as keeping charge of the students, keeping an eye for the students, keeping them in line. But she acknowledges that that isn't his responsibility. His responsibility is the maintenance of the building. It was the coach's responsibility to provide for the students at the time during practice. But since he didn't decide to stay, he was no longer in responsibility of the coach at the time. There are a couple of cases that was brought up during this trial. Collins versus School Board, of Broward County. In December 1980, Robert Hammock, a student at Roger Middle School, was sexually assaulted by another student during a technology class. At the time, the teacher for the tech teacher was out for the day, and they had a substitute. The substitute didn't know the students, didn't allow students to use the equipment, but during class, another student verbally and sexually assaulted Robert Hammock. The teacher did not notice it was happening. The school at that time was found liable because it happened during class when the teacher should have been paying attention to what's going on. However, in the case versus Benton versus School Board of Broward County in August 1975, Sherry Benton, a kindergartner, uh, left the classroom to use the bathroom. And while she was in the bathroom, she had a fingertip caught in a door jam. Now, the information about the whole case is kind of unclear, but the school was found not liable because it wasn't reasonable for the teacher to be in the classroom supervising the kids in the class and watching kids while they go to the bathroom. So the question is, did the school have a duty to provide some form of security in the area to prevent the incidents from occurring? The Court of Appeal agreed with the school board that there were no breach of supervision by the JV coach. The JV coach was coaching the team, therefore, he couldn't have supervised Jose when he decided to leave. The Court of Appeal believed there was a sufficient evidence for the jury to find a breach of duty to provide adequate security for the students. But why? They felt the school duty to provide supervision does not end when the bell rings. In fact, they feel that the need to supervise kids was greater under circumstances where the kids are moving around and leaving the building. It is foreseeable that unsupervised students will misbehave. They knew, or they should have been able to see, that that could happen, that students' misbehavior will happen when they're not being supervised. And there was evidence that if supervision was provided, incidents wouldn't happen. There hasn't been an incident like this when the custodian is in the area watching over the kids. So, as a result, the jury returned a verdict of $30,000 in favor of Jose Ruiz.